And put me co-host after that. Okay.
So we're ready?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Anagadi Wahiga Jokwa. So what do you see us, Yare? What is that on my?
It's okay. It's for the recording.
Uh-oh. Okay. Kasi da sirio yojet ska enoji on dajet sko in star ronata hroni. Retenu wadadu gurunga gari agesso. Yeti sot asatanka garako dano yetin stads yon zage dano gueguskat ne kanungwe. Retenu wadadu a guades ni ganyat regera dano a guego o quadzere onuka soa. Retenu wadadu yeti sot gonha nero no the headstone they're gonna go here that the hawakwe. Ayoki out again, dam dawe aron hetzer because it's tasser and the dam dawe aron hetzer and asset you got dart again, Ganyaga Haga, Radinato, Ronata Aroni, Dono Riscarewage. Dam dawe aron hetzer and Aguego on a Gordon, Guyana Rasa go and Nescana. Dam dawe aron hetzer and Ori Wheel. Gari Wagwari shoots at a Dono Gazet Stassera. I'm now in Kayandawana, don't know, Rio. Okay, so as always, as you know, we always have to begin with a short opening. The Ahondagadi Wadekwa, the words that come before all else. This is where we give thanks for the things in creation that have created us and the things that we need to continue to sustain us. And so we know that I always begin my Ahondagadi Wadekwa the same way. I start by giving thanks to the great spiral of creation, to Sky Woman herself, as it is she who has given us spirit. And from there, I go to our grandmother Moon, the beating heart of our Mother Earth, as it is she who has given us blood. From there to our Mother Earth, regardless of what color you are, what language you are, what you imagine divides us, wherever you've grown up from our Mother Earth, we all come from the same mother. And we give thanks to her, as it is she who has given us body. So from there, we give our thanks to all the women, from the newest born baby girl to the eldest grandmother, as they carry the sacred title of life giver into the world and are to be honored and respected as such. And so we give thanks to them, for in this world, they give us purpose and direction. And a little expansion on that, everybody knows how they give us purpose and direction, as just like in all things in the animal world, they are taught by their mothers how to be a wolf cub, how to be a bear cub, how to be a baby turtle. We're all taught by our mothers. And so this is how, when we say that the women give us purpose and direction, they give us, set us on our path. And as it is the good path, anything that we are born of women in whatever direction, we know it is the good path. And so that direction that our mother sets us on, again, whether our mother is a turtle, a wolf, a bear, a worm, a bird, regardless, it's our mother puts us on this path and sets us in our direction. And so from there, it's our mother that basically directs us, tells us what we are. You are a bird. You are an ant. You are a person, a human being. And so from that starting point of our mothers being the closest interaction between us and Yonkiat Dizu, our mothers are then not only the design, but they are the interpretation of the design. They are, if the design changes, they are that. And so whatever it is that is given to us as the species that we are, this is the good path. It is the yohahio, the good path. And so being on the good path, a person must live in accordance with that path that they are on. You must live conducively to that thing. So when we consider this, obviously, humans are not living conducive to the path that our mothers have put us on. We are born in a way that, from our mothers, in a way that needs peace. We can't be born in the middle of a battlefield and people being killed and bombs going off. Boom. War is not a way that life is born into the world. War is a way that life is destroyed out of the world. The way that life comes into the world is through love, is through peace, it's through our mother's process. And so that mother's process has to be honored from the day that you are born. And if you are going against your mother's process, the path that she has put you on, then the ultimate recipient of the negative that will follow will be you. You may be able to cause damage to others and to things, but in the long run, it will only eliminate you. And the damage that you cause to creation will heal itself back, just like if we get a cut on our skin, a deep cut. For that moment, it may seem like craziness there because everything that is living there, all the cells, are no longer living in harmony the way that they would be if there wasn't a cut. But once there is a cut there, everything gets out of whack, out of order, craziness ensues. But in that process, even though it seems crazy, the process will create again a harmonic balance. It will return back to harmony. And so as cells live and die within every second, but it's only our collective memory that lasts the days, weeks, months, years. And so what happens on a cellular level may be forgotten just like that. In our collective consciousness, it may be remembered, like a cut that you got, a real bad one when you were a kid. You may remember that. I remember one thing when I was a kid, getting a massive cut on my knee, falling into where the town water pumps, where they were built up stone like that. And there was busted glass bottles all over it. And myself and my two cousins, Lana and Tiffany, were riding on the bike and we wiped out right there into the broken glass. And I got this terrible, huge cut. So I remember this, just like any kind of negative. You remember it, it'll be your memory of how to avoid things, what not to do, what to look out for. And so tonight, we're going to talk about something that has never been talked about. That imagine you and your friend, your best friend, you know them all your life, but you don't know anything about, up until the time they met you, you don't know anything about what happened to them prior to that. You don't know anything about the good things, the bad things, happy experiences, sad experiences. So we're going to talk about something, an interaction between two peoples that we never had. We're going to talk about the interaction of the non-native world. We're going to focus on here, first and foremost, of the life givers. As to knowing, keep in mind, remember where yous come from. Yous didn't just all of a sudden, all of you who are of non-native bloodlines, yous didn't just all of a sudden end up here and well, poof, you're like magic, you're here. No, there is a long process to how you got here. And that process cannot be forgotten by you to all of a sudden just believe that you exist under a certain false reality as to what yous are all believing today. And so we're going to go back into that memory to remember what it was that brought yous here, to remember what it was that yous ran away from. because it's not that any person who is here had a good life and they chose to leave it. It identifies that if you are here, that you chose to leave something that was corrupted, something that was a negative, something that was oppressive. And we all know this, that life in Europe prior to the non-native coming here was an oppressive existence, was one that you couldn't live in, you couldn't accept, even to the degree of the love that you think you know. The people that are here in so-called North and South America, in Turtle Island, the degree of what you know as love, as interaction that you have between one another is not the same experience as to what is experienced by your bloodlines that are still in Europe. There is a control that has been there for hundreds of years, thousands of years. And this is the reason why you people wanted to escape. I myself, and I know Waiageru Island, I don't know any Native person that would ever want to choose to get up and just move to Europe, especially knowing what the history of Europe is, knowing what is there. I can't think of any person that would want to just get up and move there. You know, some would go and visit. I would never do that. I would never want to step foot in that land where corruption comes from. I don't care how many beautiful people we meet from there, how much they say that it's okay or whatever. I know where corruption comes from. And where corruption comes from, I am not going to step foot there, because that is the root of it. And the root of corruption, just like if you were walking in the bush somewhere, you don't have to be right at the root of, say, poison ivy. All you have to do is be near it, and you can get that poison jump on you. And so I would never go across the great waters to have my spirit burnt like this, but to much less move away. I know that when I consider what the life that my mother has given me here, where she has placed me, the importance that she has placed upon my life to put me in such a place and time, that why? What in the hell would ever get me to leave here? Now, those of you who know where I live, where we are, you can see, you get an idea as to why I wouldn't want to leave. But there is much more than just to having, nice grounds, nice place to swim, nice environment where it's not raining all the time, like in Britain, or where it's not boiling hot all the time, like in other places. Here we have the perfect. So I think, from what my mother taught me, we make our own existence. We make our own experience. And so if I was working a lifetime on my own experience, what in the hell would prompt me to leave my experience, to go somewhere else? This is where we got to think, not on a romanticized version of what you may want to believe as to why, if you're non-native, as to why your bloodline ended up here. You have to look at the realities of the corruptions that you were confronted with, the nonstop war, the male dominance upon the women, where women were raped on a daily basis as part of, and had to accept it as rule of law, where women were owned, where they were basically just baby factories, that their children, after going through pregnancy, were owned by males, that this was an existence for women that was basically life in hell. And so not only for women was it that way, it was for everybody, every man. I would challenge any man today. Let's see, which non-native man would say, okay, I'll get up and I'll go live, I'll pack up all my stuff, all my belongings from here, all my life, I'll pack it up and I'll go live in Europe. How many people do you think that have been here in Turtle Island would want to give up being in Turtle Island and go and live in Europe? Now, you can see some people who are of that bloodline and who are maybe recent would want to return to where their families are. But even some of those, I've met many like this, and there are those who come here on whatever they are, like work visas or travel visas, something like this. And you know, they do not want to return. They try to stay here as long as possible, because still to this day, there is something that every European person knows that they do not want to go back to, that there is a corruption in Europe that they don't want to go back and have controlling over their lives. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about from the perception of that person who ran away, the ones that escaped. And this is the stories that they tell you. The non-native tells you lies that natives used to kidnap native women and take them to our communities and force them to stay with us. This is a lie. Never happened. It never happened. A man, a native man, never kidnap a woman, never take her away from her home and her people and her way and her path. Never happened. If there was events that happened in war, these things were as a result of the invasion of this foreign species that came here. Now, without that invasion, we wouldn't have that corrupted interaction. But the realities is that when the non-native women came here and they seen the freedoms that non-native women had, the power that they had, they ran away. And the non-native men, the society would report that, make it look like, tell the lie that they were kidnapped. Because imagine, to have the audacity to be a European and to colonize, to go into other countries where you know you're not wanted, where you're not invited, where the people actually hate you for the way that you are invading. So imagine to be there continuously, knowing the corruption of the invasive species. So this is something that those men, when their women escape, would not want to tell the truth about. If they told the truth, oh, these women weren't kidnapped. They're going to live with what they call the savages. So you would never hear the truth told about these women, that they are the ones, like in the native people. When you hear of today so-called residential school Nazi concentration camp survivors, this is basically what the non-native people were. The ones that escaped and made it to us, you survived your European corruption. You survived that corruption that subdues you and takes away your humanity. And so we're going to talk from that perspective of that woman that escaped. Primarily, we're going to talk from her perception, but then also afterwards, we're going to talk from the perception of the guys. What is it like to grow up in fear, knowing that at any instance, because of the government or system that you live in, that at any instance, your peace and happiness can be torn to shreds and you being forced to go kill somebody, to put a gun in your hand and to go and kill. Imagine this right now, all of us sitting here, looks like we're sitting in peace. It's relative peace. Now imagine if all of a sudden, if each of us had to get up, grab a gun and go and kill somebody. Who can do that? I know a lot of people who, just by pure disposition of their bloodlines, who are trained for that. They'll have no second thoughts about doing it. They'll naturally do it because it's like now a muscle memory in their identity. But to think of free people, people who love, people who want to live. Think of this from the guy's perspective, never being able to live free, your manhood constantly stolen from you, constantly being emasculated in front of your mother, in front of the woman you love, even to the degree of what actually, as we know, is a matter of fact in Europe, where even the love bond between a young woman and young man was stolen from them on their wedding night in many parts of Europe by the lords, or people that they call lords, by the so-called, what do they call them? Those corrupted blue blood royal families anyways. So this was a constant thing that was stolen from the males, stolen from the females. You don't even know to the extent of how deep it went, how much your ancestors bled, how much they hurt, how much like they called us savages, but the reality is that whoever was controlling you treated you like savage beasts, trained you to be as savage beasts, to not care, to not be able to love, to not be able to engage in humanity, much less practice it. So we're talking from the perspective of that woman. So that woman came and she got away. And we know the woman that we're talking about, eh? Why again? That woman that was so celebrated, so much, well, maybe not celebrated, but was so exploited in so many ways. It was a woman in, I think, Deerfield, Massachusetts, that was, they said, kidnapped by the Mohawks. It's not true. She wasn't kidnapped. She got away. She escaped. So let's imagine that woman coming from oppressive European craziness, being brought over here and seeing an escape route to her humanity, seeing that she could escape to where women have the power, where women have the authority. She seen her route and she planned it and she got away. And you got to think that once she got here, then there was words that she had to say, things very specific. And so this is the words that we're going to talk about from her, from that woman. I come to the original people to find a path of peace.
And Lisa says that it's Mary Jamieson.
Mary Jameson?
It wasn't Eunice Williams?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them that
There's
are
a
really
bunch,
famous
yeah.
for that. Here in Ganawagi, that's the Williams line, huh? The Williams bloodline. But in many communities, like the one that Inca's talking about, that's obviously Grand River, Jameson.
Lisa.
Huh?
Lisa.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lisa? Oh,
Yeah, that's Six Nations,
Yes.
Grand River. Yeah.
So each place, each community has stories like this. When we look around us today, and today this is the corruption. We're looking at it from like a bad perspective. We see, like, drive around in Ganawagi, you see so many blonde children, blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin. We look at it as a bad thing. And we don't consider what actually the circumstances were that led up to this happening. The non-native people were trying to escape. We don't view it this way any longer. Now, if you're trying to escape, you got to consider, what was it? And did those conditions change? Did you escape? Or is there still those conditions that you have to escape from? Do they still exist? So we're going to go around from here to each person. Doesn't matter if you're non-native or native. We're going to go along to the women and identify what you think, what you know. So just to give you an idea, it would be what she would be saying. This is what I'm escaping from. Think of this. She has to convince the community to let her stay, because we know that if we let her stay, we're thinking, where did this woman come from? There's going to be problems coming from it, repercussions, maybe even war. So we're not just going to let that woman stay just because she happened to wander into the village. And when we say, hey, it's time for you to go back home now, and she says, no, I don't want to. I'm feared. I'm afraid for my life because of this, and this. This is the only way that the non-native people were permitted to stay within the people, within the communities. So the reality was we were on, still are, the biggest humanitarian mission in all of history, to try to save the people who want to escape the subhumanism of the reality of Europe, of that other polarity of war. There are people.
That's where the word Stuart came. They say it's a French word, Iroquois. It's not. It's a Kanienkeha word. It's Iroquois, and that means we add to our bowl, our 5 nations. We add to Iroquois. That's what our nation was. The 5 nations we added to. We never throw nobody out. We add to.
So when you think of this, when you think of that, we were literally, like I said, on the biggest humanitarian mission ever in history. But we were basically doing like what people around the world do. There's a place, I think it's either in Greenland or Iceland, that is the world's largest deposit of seeds. So people save seeds for some reason, save seeds of all these different plants from around the world. What we were doing here in bringing in all of these people was basically that. We were saving the seeds of the mothers. Now that is actually a sacred thing. That's not really what it looks like in the here and now as mixing of blood. It's actually storing of the seeds, saving those for saving the diversity of seeds to have the seed bank. So we got the largest gene pool in the world. The native people do. And when you have, as you know, when you have a large gene pool, more diversity, you'll have the healthiest. But we consider that we're taking genes from that weren't in our pool, that were in the European pool. But we know that over there in that pool, they're like poison genes. Over here, it's like they go through a process of purification. It's like the blood returning back to the heart to go back for its rejuvenation process. And so in the big picture, this is what we have to look at and consider, that it's not true that our interaction with the white man or the European is only over the last 500 years. The corrupted interaction is over the last 500 years. But our interaction as humans together on our Mother Earth has become distorted to thinking that, well, if you're from, let's say, Turtle Island, well, that you're limited to Turtle Island. If you're in Australia, you're limited to Australia, and so on and so on. This was never like that. The whole world always moved around and mingled. The history of reality is the corruption of what is bred or what has come out of Europe. That the reality now is a destructive reality. So your history of the truth prior to the destruction starting is not known. We have had interaction since the beginning of time with each other. It's only the last 500 years where it is a corrupted interaction, where it is a male dominant, where it is subdued the freedom of the life givers, not only in Europe, but it's attempting to do that here. So the reality here now, from this point out, is that it takes life givers to return things back the way it's supposed to. So it's you, life givers, native and non-native alike, who have to remember, who have to dig in to where your cellular memory is, your DNA memory, to get back to that point of truth or whatever. Okay, so just keep this in your mind. We're gonna go around to all the women first and then the men. So right after we get through this one. Okay, so let's go over this. Let's break up the word right away.
Dewaguego. Dewaguego.
Oh, that's not
Oh.
Dewaguego.
Dewageno.
Dewageno?
Yeah.
At the Dewa. Sinue, we don't need one there.
Hang on, I have to-
Ungwehunwe. Ne. Ungwehunwe. Ne.
Ne, yeah, at the Ne then.
No. Hang on, I just need to switch my keyboard. Okay. Yeah,
No, Dewageno too.
yeah.
Ayetsari.
How do you say that?
Ayetsari. I would break it right at the A right away.
And the A?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Yeah, Ayetsari. That'd be good. And then this word we've come across so many times, Yohahio and Skana, you don't even have to break that up. Okay?
Wait. You know what? That Ayatsardi, put it at the RI, between the N and the R.
I take the other one out.
Ayatsardi. Sorry. Let's leave it like that. When we get through with saying it, we'll see how it feels for everybody.
Okay, I'll read it then, okay?
Mm.
3, 2, 1. Ewageno Chinue Ungwehuene Ayetsari Yoahio Skana.
Dewageno Sinue Ungwehuene Ayatsari Yohahio Skana.
Dewageno, Zinue, Ungwehuene, Ayetsari, Yohahio, Skana.
Ewageno, Sinue, Unwehuene, Ayatsani, Yohahio, Skana.
Merrick.
Dewageno, Sionwe, Onkweonwene, Ayatsari, Yohia Skana.
Dewageno Tsinui Ungwene Aye Sari Yo Ahio Skana.
Harold.
Dewagenu Sinonwe Ongwehongwene Ayatsari Yohahio Skana.
Lillian. You pass? Okay. Lisa.
Dewagone,
Dewageno.
Dewageno. Can you say it and I'll follow?
Chinue.
Dinua,
Chinue.
Dinugwa,
We.
Dinu. Okay, I'll have to start. I'm so sorry.
No. Just repeat after me. Chinue.
Dinuwa,
Ungwehuene.
Ongwahon, way,
Wene.
Ongwahon, way,
Wene.
when?
Wene.
Ongwahon, way, Ongwahon, wena.
Yeah. Ayetsari.
Ayatsandri,
Yohahio.
Yohahio, Skana.
All right, good.
Janet.
Ewageno, Zinonwe, Unkohonwe, Neachiri,
Yohahio.
no, the word before it, trying to figure out the
Sorry.
pronunciation.
Ayatsari.
Ayatsari. Yohahio Skana.
Te wageno sinoe ongwehoe ne ayetsari iohahio skana.
De wageno, nue, ongwe, huene, ayetsari, iohahio, skana. Circle. So the order for today is Longhouse, Marie-Claude Edith, Merrick, France, Harold, Céline if she wants, Lisa, Janet, Mark, and me.
Okay, so I'll start the first thing here. The line will be this topic, or this, we'll start from here. In my homelands, they are at war. They ate war.
They had a
Almost.
big
They were very
indigestion.
Must have been spicy sausages.
That would be la bouffe à prix. What's la bouffe qui est
Expired.
That would be expired food because it's war.
Fire food.
It's expired food. So good.
I don't think.
Be like fire water, fire food.
No, expired. How is that?
So from here, just think of all the conditions that the women were fleeing. There's a lot. There's a lot of things that could be identified. Okay. Agu. At the Agu.
Take the N right out. The N doesn't belong. Okay. Hunzage.
De what? De Rio. De what? Is that the proper way to say it, Guayagero? De what? De Rio?
Yeah, de what de Rio. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Algun Hunzage de what de Rio.
Ago Hunzage de what de Rio.
Agun Hunzage de what de Rio.
Gonzague de Guaterio.
Agonhonsage de Baterio.
France, are you still there?
Sorry, I had to go somewhere and in a hurry. Can you say for me?
Okay, listen up. Wait a minute, let me move that. Algun Hunzage de what de Rio.
Agu Unsage de Waderio.
Gonzaga de Waterio.
Lisa,
Agunhunsage de Waterio.
Céline, do you want to do it?
Akuhunsage de Waterio.
Sorry, Janet, that would be your turn now.
Agunhunsage de Waterio.
Mark?
Agunhunsake te Waterio.
Aguhunzage de Waterio. Circle.
Okay, so you just get the idea here. So we'll go around to the women first to say what you know. And don't forget, this isn't only of the past. It is the present, because when you think of just this statement, in my homelands, they are at war. This is something that we heard 500 years ago. And it's something that is still the case. In your homelands, they are still at war. This is something for you to think very deeply about. How could you be connected to something where they are constant war for at least 500 years? That's utter insanity. But something for you to think up deeper here. Think of what this means. Somebody comes to us. If somebody came from my next door neighbor and came and told me that they need shelter, they need a place to stay because at their house, they're at war. What would that mean for me? Think of that. Nobody has ever heard somebody coming from the neighboring community and hearing them say, our community's at war. Nobody has ever just, oh, okay, went about their daily business and thought that it didn't affect them. The moment anybody heard that, that was called to action immediately for you to rise to the defense, for you to become, to know that if there's war in your next door neighbor's house, you're guaranteed it's coming to your house. War is a disease like cancer that spreads like wildfire. And it's the scariest thing for any people ever to have heard, especially people who are at peace, people who did away with war. For us to hear the white man was coming and that it's all war, this was the ultimate nightmare come true. So let's go to who's first? Is it Mary Chloe?
My children have no future over there.
These are things, these are thoughts that I know that nobody in the non-native world thinks about this, because I know yous all believe that yous are living in peace, that yous have a relative peace, because you don't see like gunfights, battles, tanks, bombs, planes dropping in front of you, where you see it in other places around the world. So you associate that with war. But think about this. What does the person in Palestine associate as being an action of war? Is it just the bombs? Is it just the rocket fire? Just the buildings exploding? No, you know what they think of when they think of war? They think of people who are stuck in rush hour traffic jam in Tel Aviv. They think, Tel Aviv, is that the right place? In Israel, I mean. I don't know if I said the right place, sorry. But you get the idea. What is war for them is the little school children in Israel going to school, all happy, being sent off by their mothers in the morning with their lunch, and they're skipping to school and they're happy to play with their friends. But what they're being taught in school is aggressive war action against the Palestinian people. So just think of what war means. It doesn't mean just a gun and bullets and explosions. It means what it looks like in downtown Montreal right now. It looks like people sitting in cafes, because for those people to sit in those cafes, to be in that oppressive position, that they have to violate others and assert themselves violently. And so war looks like peace also. It looks like you having the freedom to drive to the supermarket and pick between that pepper that is natural or that pepper that is all pumped up full of chemicals because it's bright orange and it looks good to you. That's war. Okay, anyways.
Keyon Ogun,
K, right at the KHE. And Yon, IEN.
That O should be split right at the O. Keyon Ogun. Keyon Ogun. No, like the O should by itself. There should be on either side of it. It should just be by itself.
And put it in front of it, just like.
Keyon Ogun, yeah.
The way we always write it like that.
And at the end, you don't need that one between Gua.
Well, that's what we always do.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. Deo.
Deo nade. Deo nade.
Sanaya? Sanaya?
Son Nayon.
Okay, SCN.
Son Nayon and Tonegwadi. To.
Yeah, PHO. Negwadi, that's, we could leave that one.
Yeah, you can meet that, yeah. Okay, I'll 3, 2, 1. Keo Ogun, ya, Deona de Sonayo, Tonagwadi.
Keyon Ogun, ya, Teona de Sanaya, To Negwadi.
Keyan Ogunha ya deyona de Sanayan do Neguari.
Gayan ogun a ya teyona de sanaya do neguadi.
Kaya ungkona ya leona de sanaya don neguati.
Geyon nogunha ya de yo nade sen nayon do neguadi.
Very good.
Eyon Ogun Ya Deo Nate Son Nayo Do Naguate.
Ge, Geyon,
Keyon.
Geyon Ogon, Ya, Deo, Nade Son, Now, On, Do, Neguati.
Okay, it's Tonegwadi.
Do Neguati.
Yeah.
Do Neguati.
Céline, do you want to do it? I could put you just before me, so if you want to do it, if I see you unmute yourself, I could let you speak, and if not, I would speak. Is it okay with you, Céline? You're not unmuted. I don't read your lips.
Sorry. I need to know who after should I go.
You should be after Harold, just before Lisa.
Yeah.
So go ahead, you can go, and then it's Janet after you.
Keye o kwa ya e teo nat e
Oh, look, just come after me. Keyon Ogun,
keo o kunwa
ya,
ya
Deona de Sonayo,
teo nas de sayana
Tonegwadi.
tunikwati.
Okay.
Janet?
Okay. Hold on. Ge Ian Ogun Yate Ionade.
Sonayo,
Sanayan Donekwati.
Tony, Yanare.
Keyan Ogona Aya Teonate Sanaya Tonequati.
Keyan Ogunha, ya, Deyona de Sanaya, Donegwadi. Circle.
Okay, so who's next?
I am. I'm going to write it down. Violence, tears, families apart.
Did you spell tears apart? Tears is T-A-R-E-S, no?
No,
I don't know.
it's T-E-A.
Yeah, T-E-A.
It looks like
Like
tears.
Yeah. Well, that's what it does.
Yeah. At the end, you
Tears your eyes apart.
Yeah, there's so
Also-
much crying.
Maybe that's you tear me up. Make me cry. Tear me up.
There you go.
It's gonna Guadarana. We'll have to throw this word in there later. Did we ever do?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
that
Wow.
was me that asked.
We did it, and here it is. It's gonna Guadarana. It's gonna Guadarana. Ooh, it's gonna Guadarana.
I was so happy when I found them this week.
Aderiosera.
Aderiosera.
Dirty. Between the two
Okay.
I's.
Aderiosera. Dega hua dega
What?
waji.
Rita.
Rari.
Ra Rita.
R-A. Yeah. And at the first Adari, we don't need between the A and the T. Aderiosera.
Okay, then you're ready. 3, 2, 1. Aderiosera dega wazira Rita.
Aderiosera dega wazira Rita.
Aderiosera de Gawatsira Rita.
Aderiosera de Gawatsira Rita.
Aderiosera de Gawatsira Rita.
Aderiosera dega watsira Rita.
Aderiosera dega watsira Rita.
Aderiosera de Gawatsira Rita.
Very good.
Ederi Yosra Dega Watsira Rita.
Yo yanade.
Jana?
Aderiosera de Gawatsira Rita.
Very good.
Aderiosera de Gawatsira Rita.
Aderiosera de Gawatsira Rita. What does it mean, Rita? My heart is
Dega wazira Rita. It means it breaks. See the English. It tears the family fire apart.
Oh, see, you're empty. Oh my goodness.
The family fire apart.
Gawatsira. Yeah, Watsira.
Who's next?
next life giver would be France.
I already sent you my phrase. Did you get it on the chat?
Goodness, that's a long one, Franz.
Hey,
Sorry.
these small phrases. You're not writing a book.
Well, sorry. If you just copy it and see if you want to do it. It's a nice one.
It's France. When you don't give the rules, she will.
Break it down a bit.
Can I copy and paste?
The male of our nation have given themselves the power to grant life or death on women and children.
Over women and children?
Oh yeah, maybe over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great phrase, though.
Okay, we won't have to say the males of our nation because we're already in the line of a conversation that is gone back to that place. So you could just say the males have given themselves.
Okay.
The power of life and or death. We could shorten this up.
The power, yeah, of life or death. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
perfect.
Over women and children. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
It's true too.
Over
Right?
men, women, and children.
What?
Over men, women, and children, because there's males killing males too.
Well, when a woman is saying men have done this over women and children, then males are identified in the children because the males are the children of the mother. So when the women's saying that these guys are killing our children, they're killing our male children and our female children.
Yeah, but they're killing men also.
Grown men.
That's what war is.
Okay,
But Was it France that you?
Well, the thing is, they have legal status of being having the right to kill their wives and their children for real, and it hasn't been long that they had to remove that from the law. But when the men are killing another man, usually it's in fight. You know, they're supposed to be equal, and they're fighting amongst each other, and they kill one another. That's one thing. But if they have the right to kill women and children just because, you know, they get tired of them or they just didn't respond the right way or things like that, that's another story.
Yeah, yeah. And Janet, this is just so that we keep in mind, it is what France wants to throw in there. Each of us, each of you can throw in what you want in there. But yeah, it's good.
Well,
Like covered.
I think you brought up a good point that there was a rule to war at one point where it was just male on male, but then they decided, like France was saying, that now they could do it to women and children. So thank you for the clarification, France. I just learned something.
Yeah, I heard some men saying that to their wives.
Okay, Wahum Dade. No, we don't need that there.
Oh, okay.
Dade.
Satsta.
That's
So it's all one. Satsa.
Yeah, satsta.
that's done.
Satsta.
Oops, I'm not muted.
Wahum Dade Satsta Sura.
Okay, and then Adonhet should stay one word.
Doganis, that's one.
One word. Go heyo, Sarah. Go.
Oh. Hey you.
Heyo, yeah.
Come on.
And then I think we know Gunungwe
Yeah.
and Danu.
Yeah.
And then Exa.
Yeah. A break.
Exa ugu.
Exa ugu.
Exa Ogun. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Runungwe wahum dade satston serum. Adunhets toganis gayu sera. Gunungwe danu Exa Ogun.
Ronungwe, Wahunda de Zatstanserum, Adun het Doganis Gahayontira, Ronungwe Dano Exa Oguha.
Ronungwe wahunda de satstanseron, adunhets doganis ganhayonsera, gonungwe dano exahugunha.
Yalla de.
Runungwe wahunda de satsanseron. Adonhets doganis ganhayonsera. Gonungwe dano exa obua.
Renungwe wahontat te satsansera. Adunhets doganis ganhayansera. Gunungwe danon exa ogona.
Ronungwe wa un datset satsenseron adunets doganis gen eon sera gunumwe dano exa unguha.
Yalla, that was very good.
Renungwe, Wahum Tate, Satstun Siron, Adonhets, Doganis, Gon Hayon Sira, Gunungwe, Danu, Exa Ogon.
Very good, Harold.
Ronunque wahuntate satstenseron atunes tocanis kenhiunstera conunque tanun exa uncua.
Okay.
Renongwe wahonda dade satsen seron adonhet doganis gahan sera Ganon,
Gunugwe.
Gunugwa, the Ganon, Exa, Ogon,
Janet?
Okay, sorry, I got kicked off, I just got back. Okay,
Okay, Runugwe.
Runungwe, Wahundade, Stat Stenseron, Adunhat, Doganis, Ga,
Heyutsera.
Gaheyunsera, Punungwe, Dano, Exa Oguna.
Yana.
Yeah.
Ronunque, Wahontade, Satstan Seron, Atonhits, Tocanis, Conheon Sera, Gonungue Tano Exa Ocona.
Yana.
Ronunwe Wahondade Satsanserum Adonhet Doganis Gan Eyonsera Gonungwe Dano Sa Ogunha. Circle.
Okay, Yana.
Next light giver is Celine.
I would say the women are being oppressed. Of their livelihood.
What?
Oppressed of their livelihood.
Of their livelihood. Oppressed of their livelihood. Well, is that proper?
What's what it means?
Their livelihood would be their work. What their work is. Oh, well, yeah, I guess you could say that. They're being oppressed of being able to work the land. Yeah, it could be said. It's not really proper. You would say something else before that.
Well, what I mean is like the happiness to live their life. You know?
Okay, then what you need to complete that, if you're identifying their livelihood with the land, that would complete the phrase.
Okay.
Neohontage, or how we would say with the Nanway.
What's that? Oh, no. Okay, oh, no. See, I gotta read, once you put a word in, it changes. Gunungwe, Gunat Gudani, oh, no, oh, no, doing Hetzela.
Oh no. Oh no, that was okay. Oh no.
Okay, no, oh, wait 1 second, eat it.
No problem.
Nun, N-O-N. It's not, take the N out. Nun, Hetzela. N-O-N. Okay, that's right. And Tiohunzade, T-S-I-I-O. It's a double I, T-S-I-I. Tiohunzade. Okay, that's good. Gunuga is like one word again. We don't have to break that. And then Goanat, Godani, Goanat. And Godani, two, we'll just split it in half. Now, by itself. Oh, wait. O. N-O-N. Then leave the rest. Aonun Hetzera. Geo. Gonzaga. That's what I see, but if somebody wants to break more, go ahead.
That breakage there.
Guanat.
Yeah, Goanat Godani. Aonu Hetzer.
You should put one at the go. Guanat. Oh no, that's yeah, that's good.
I think the word oppress is not the right one. I think we should write depossessed. They're depossessed of their livelihood. They
Okay.
might be
That-
abreast of being depossessed, but they're depossessed of their livelihood.
Okay, that could be put in as another part, but just like you had your words put in there, you know, but even though we had to break it down a little bit, it was too long. This too, it's like each woman gets a chance to put what they want in there. So at the end, when we see if there's room, then we'll put like general conclusions like that in there.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Gunungwe, Goanat Godani, Aonun Hetzera, Giomzage.
Gonungwe, Goanat Godani, Aon Hetsera, Zio Hunzage.
Ganungwe, Gawanat Kondani, Aunun Hetsira, Dion Hunzage.
Gunungwe, Gonwat Gondani, Aunun Hetsera, Siu Hontage.
Gunungwe, Goanat Gotan, Ano Hetsera, Sion Hontage.
Gurungwe Goanat Gundani Aho non Etzera Tiyo Unzage.
Anungwe, Gomanat Gundani, Aonu Hetsera, Sio Unzage.
Gunungwe, Kunwana Kontani, Aunon Hetsera, Sio Hansake.
Yeah.
Gunungwa,
Goanat Godani.
Guanak Guadane, Wana, Wanad, Gondani, Ono, Hetsera, Tio, on Zake.
Janet?
Gunungwe.
Goanat Godani.
Goanat Gondani Auno Hetsera Dio
Hunzage.
Konungwe. Wait.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Konungwe Kunwanat Kotani Au Nun Hetsera Siu Honsake.
Gonongwe, Goanat Kontani, Aonon Hetsera, Tio Hontaki. Next life giver is Lisa.
I have a simple one. My voice is silent, or I have no voice, whichever works better.
Okay, just to say something about this. If you're saying I have no voice about this circumstance you're telling, then basically that they have taken my voice.
Well, this is what I wrote, like. Yeah.
Does that mean they have taken my voice?
Well, once you don't have a voice, it's just pretty well obvious. Okay, no, you don't get one. Okay, take everything away, eat it,
Okay.
everything. And then the whole thing. ION. Okay, Yun KE WENNA NEN HNEN. S KWEN. You get one on Nuskwa. You get one now. You get one now.
One.
One
Nesqua.
No.
Wana.
No.
Nesqua. Yeah.
And
You
is
get
that, is that the same as having a political voice? Because I mean, like, I can't imagine like being back then coming and seeing the matriarchal society. I'd be blown away by that if I was a European woman, right? So I'm meaning like not my voice, I can't speak, but my political voice, right?
But what I wrote there, you get one on Nuskwa, which happens that when it means that they've stolen my voice. It's like taking it stolen, but it's just
Stolen / taken. So that would actually cover everything that, if you're thinking or from the perspective of a matrilineal society, to take a woman's voice is everything. It's her ability to exercise her spirituality, her political, her private, her personal, her public, everything. To take away a woman's voice is to oppress every part of your existence, everything what you would do on a daily basis. That is what taking the voice, stealing the voice of the life givers equates to.
okay. 3, 2, 1. You get one Nuskwa.
Yogewana Naskwa.
Yugewana Noskwa.
Ungewana Naskwa.
Okay, one and Naskwa.
Yugi wana Noskwa.
Don't get one on non-squat.
Iunke wanas not squat.
Yeah.
Yunge wana naskwa.
Yunge wana natskwa.
Yunge wana Naskwa.
Yugewana Noskwa. Circle. Next life giver is Janet.
Okay, so mine was similar to Lisa's. I said the women are like slaves and have no voice. So I guess we could just say the women are like slaves or as slaves.
Women are like
Slave.
Like slaves.
slaves, okay.
You can say something of the past that happened in the past.
Whatever.
Okay, Kunungwe Ganha.
Tsura.
Ganha Tsura Yonadun. Yona.
Yona.
Yonadun.
Yonadu.
3, 2, 1. Kunungwe Ganhatsira Yonadun.
Gunungwe ganhatsira yonadun.
Kanungwe ganhatsera yonatunhu.
Gunungwe ganhatsira yonadun.
Gunungwe ganhatsera yonatung.
Gunungwe Gansatsira Iona Dunhu.
Nungwe Ganatsara Yona Dun.
Kurungwe ko atsara ionatum.
You're muted, Lisa.
Gonongwe, Ganhatsara, Iona, Don.
Gunungwe, Ganhatsara, Yona, Yona Dun,
Dun.
not Dun.
Gononque canhatsera yonatuho.
Gunungwe ganhatsira yonadunhu. Circle. I'm next. I would say they burnt women for doing their ceremonies, their moon ceremonies.
Okay, right with that one, Wayagerdo, maybe when we say doing their moon ceremonies, maybe we can make it more connected instead of just saying doing moon ceremonies, like from how would you feel about like just as a starting point, like to say from connecting.
They burn women. Okay, say,
Say
well,
moon ceremonies, that way it just applies to everything. We won't go direct, like say from connecting with their moon. Too long and complicated.
Okay, space, Gunungwe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
National sport.
How crazy can you be when doing someone give birth?
Well, like the coliseums, they threw people to the rhinos. Even lost. Oh boy, okay, hang on. I'm gonna do this. Uh-oh. Come on. Okay.
We can translate anything. We can translate anything as long as you can say it.
Well, go.
Yeah.
I want to translate the first word.
Waguana. Waguana. I would break it there.
Okay.
Waguana. Jatuts.
Jadats. We could leave that as one jadats.
Saate.
Saate. You better break it right at TSA because there's a double A that'll confuse people. Waguana Jatuts. And then Gunungwe, we don't have to do that.
Kunderi.
And then, yeah, okay, now here. Guderi.
Ready?
Wade.
Yeah.
Oops.
Asutta.
Mayondira.
Oh, Asutta, you want to keep it at one word or just break it at the A?
Yeah. Asunto.
Yeah. Asutta. And then Aodirakwa.
Aodiri.
Aodi. Aodira. KHWA. That's my mistake. KH. My mistake again. Take it back out. Aodira. No, I had to read it and
Yeah.
Aodirakwa.
It's not beautiful, so it doesn't work.
okay. 3, 2, 1. Waguana datsa ate. Gunungwe. Neji. Kuderiwate jata. Asutta. Aodirakwa.
Wow. Wagawana Jadatade. Konongwe Netsi Kunderi Wate Jato. Kunderi Wate Jato. Asunta Ayonderi
Jata.
Jata.
Kuderiwate jata.
Kunderi Wate Jata. Ta. Okay, maybe we should put a break there to emphasize the ta.
Like just hear the H.
No, no, no.
T-H-A.
Oh, okay. Here.
Jata. Wate Jata.
Wagon wana chatats zahate gonungwe netsi gonderiwate chata asunta aundirakwa.
Very good.
Wagonwana jadatsa ade gonongwe netsi konderiwa de jada asunda odiakwa.
Wagonwana chatate gonongwe netsi conteriwate chata asonten aotirakwa.
Very good.
Waguwana tia tate. I don't have it.
Okay,
Can you say
okay, come right after me. Waguana.
Waguana
Yeah, that's
tats
saate.
Zahate Gunungwe Netsi Gunderi Wate Tiata Asunta Ayo di Rakwa.
Very good.
Ogumana Jatat Saate Gunungwe Netsi Gonderiwate Jate Asonta Aoterakwa. Aotirakwa.
Very good, Harold.
You.
Wakunwana tiatsate kununque netsi conteri wate tiata atsunte autirakwa.
Canada.
Ganare?
Yoyanare means very good.
Ah,
Gunnery.
Wagon-
Okay, who's
wag-
next?
Wagona,
Waguana.
Wagunwana
That's saate.
diatsa ate
Gunugwe.
gunugwa diatsi gonder you have to say it for me.
Okay, Gunderi.
Gundari
Wahtejata.
Wate Jiata Asont A Ontion Audi Rakwa.
Okay. You just
Hmm.
got a little nervous there. Don't worry about it. There's hard words.
Wakumana Tiata Saade Gunungwe Metsi Konteriwa de Jata Asunda Audi Rakwa.
Yellow.
No.
Wakuana Tiatats Sahate Konungwe Netsi Konteri Wate Tiata Asunta Aoti Rakwa.
Yellow.
Wagunwana tiatatsa ahate gonongwe netsi konteri watechata asunta ahodi rakwa. Circle.
Okay.
Who's next?
The life protectors.
What?
In
Okay, so now we're gonna go into the guys. So let's who's in the order?
I think we will have just the time. So it's Merrick, Harold, and Mark. So Merrick.
Just to ask, like when we did the life givers, we did like imagining the life givers coming into the community. What would be, is it the same case for the guys? Like the guys escaping? Because did that even happen?
Yeah, just imagine that it's not only a woman by herself, it's people. You know, it was groups of people that came. It wasn't just individuals. Some, it was individuals, but in most cases, it was groups. So just imagine there's a woman standing there speaking and you're speaking also.
Those who have power are liars.
yeah.
These are the words that we would have heard 500 years ago when we heard first contact with the people, when it was clear now, just the pirates, you know, the pirates who first arrived to do the pirating, when it was just the people who were just after that. Now the floodgates open and they're the ones that were like pouring out of Europe because of as you know, the crazy conditions that were there.
I sent it, Edith.
Okay, I was distracted. Thank you.
What time is it?
It's 22.
Okay, Tinigaya.
Tini. Where are you?
Sinigaya.
Tini.
Sini. Excuse me.
Rodi Suts.
Alright, so that's
It's just twice. Don't say I. I-E-N. I forgot the N.
where?
Tanseraya.
Yeah, and then
Oh, here.
Are you okay?
and there should be a don with a comma there. Rodi
And
Suts.
then Rodinoa. Rodi.
Excuse me.
No. Okay.
Which is the part that identifies liar? Is it
Rodinoa.
Rodinoa? How does that break down?
They, them who lie are liars.
What does that? How could you break that down further, like to identify the action. They are
Oh.
liars. Is it just
The action is vocal. It's in the, you know, rodino, they, them who lie, who are liars.
so? Then it would just be everything that's in, like in the English language, what is encompassed in liars.
Yeah, well, a liar's a liar. There's not really, I mean, you can break it down. You'll have a million words, a million ways to lie. But anyway, 3, 2, 1, Sinigayo, Rodi Satstonserayo, Rodino.
Sinigaya, Rodizat Stansaraya, Rodinua.
Tinigaya rotizatstan serayan rodinoa.
Sinigaya, Radisastan, Saraya, Radinua.
Sinigaya, Rotitsatsaraya, Rotinoa.
Sinigayan rotsitsat tenserayan rodinoa.
Sinigayo, Rotisatsto, Serayo, Rotinoa.
Sinikayan Rutisatstan Serayan Roti Noah.
Sinigayon, Roditat, Don, Seron, Sarayon, Rayon, Rodi, Noah.
Sanigayan, Bodhisat, Dan Sarayan, Rodinoa.
Very good.
Sinigaya, Rotisatsta, Seraya, Rotinoa.
Tinigaya, Roditsatsan Seraya, Rodinoa. Circle. Next life givers is the next life protector is arrow. Sorry.
Well, maybe life giver too.
No, because there is none. Yeah. Is there? Yeah.
So I would say they have corrupted songs and dances.
Okay. Okay. Rudirana. Can't read what I wrote. Rudirana head. Okay. Okay, Rodirona hetkons, Rodiron. Nahet.
Oh, Rodino, no, that's
Okay, then Donum stays. Rao. Dinu. Yeah, okay. 3, 2, 1. Rodirana hetkon stanu raodinunya.
Rodinana Hetkons, Dono, Rodinum. Yeah.
Rodirana hetkans dano raudinunya.
Rodirona Hetgans, Dano Raudinunya.
Rotirana Hetkans, Dano Ranontionia.
Rodirana hetskans dano rao dinu naya.
No, Rodinunya.
Raudinunya.
Okay, good.
Rotiro. The headgoons. Dano. Rao. Dinon. Yeah.
Rotiron na hetkans tanun rautinun.
Rodirong na het kong danon rao dinyo nya.
Okay.
Rodilan,
Hetkans.
Nahet,
Gone.
Dano, Dinonia,
Rotiran na hetkans, Tano Rao Tinonia.
Odiran na hetkans dano raudinunya. Circle.
Okay, the woman that said it before Harold actually said something really funny.
That's France.
France, okay, you said, "Rodirana Heskonstans Rodinoya," and that would mean, in our language, they had corrupted songs and balls.
Say that no time.
It's so close, one letter will make it into a joke, you know. But I mean, it's probably right anyways, you know. It's a corrupted balls, you know. From whence it came, you know.
Who's next?
Mark. It's not.
Okay. They are asking us to come and kill you. So I have escaped and I'm alerting you to this. So I'm seeking shelter. Something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, you got me unprepared.
There- Okay, I'll say it again. They are asking us to come and kill you. So I have escaped to alert you. And so therefore, and I am seeking seeking shelter. Something like that.
So they are forcing us.
They're forcing us, yeah, to come and kill you.
They're forcing us to change that because they're not going to ask you, hey, you want to go kill someone?
No.
They're forcing us to kill you. Take out to come and kill you. And then you can take out the so, just say it's another sentence. I have escaped to alert you.
Princess in one.
It's 12 to 9.
Okay.
You Gertie?
Hang on. Okay. Young kitty.
You Gertie? One. Wage. The next one down. Wage nya. Okay. That's good. I'll go over.
Ah, no, that wasn't the thing. Oh my goodness,
What
where
happened?
am I now? I don't know. What did I do? Hang on.
Us. Quanun. Us. ASH at the ASH.
Why did I do that?
Guanus, Guanus, Dadiste. Okay, that's good.
Da. TA. Okay.
Okay.
Just try and fit it in. I don't think that I can fit it in one. I don't know. Okay.
Let's just do the one line, everybody, and then we'll do the other two together. All right. Okay. Yunkiri wanaduni, aguarillo.
Yonkeni waratuni aguarillo.
Yukiri wanutoni aguarillo.
Yankiri wanondoni aguarillo.
Yonkiri Wanonduni Aguarillo.
Yukiri wano duni aguarillo.
Yonkiri Wanundumi Aguarillo.
Helen, you're muted. Okay, you pass. Okay, go ahead, Lisa.
Yonkgria Wanodone Aquaria Rio.
Yunkeri, Wanadoni, Aquario.
Very good.
Yonkiri Wanotoni Aquario.
Yongiri wanodoni aguarillo. Circle.
Okay. Move the two up, then we can do the two together, no? Okay. Wage nyagone aguarori gezax asquanusta diste.
Okay. Gene. Okay, between the two ends.
Okay, wage nyagone aguarori gezax asquanusta diste.
Okay, I'm having a bit of a problem here with wage nyag gene.
Wage nyagone.
Ne. Go. Ne. Okay. Wage nyagone aguerori gezax asquanum statiste.
Yeah.
Wagenyangane aguaruli gesax asquanus datiste.
Wagenyagone aguarori gesax asquanostadiste.
Wagenyagane Aguaori Gizax Aquastansta Tiste.
Wagenyagene aguari kesax asquanustatiste.
Again, Gamme Aguaroi Gezax Asquanuns
Tadiste.
We lost you, Harold, a bit.
Yeah,
Cut.
breaking down.
Asquanusta diste, Harold.
Is he there?
Yeah, but he doesn't unmute himself, so. Okay, okay.
Okay, I'll read it for the person coming next. Wage nyagone ne aguarori Gesax asquanustadiste.
Who's next?
Excellent.
Okay, wakenya nyakane aquaruri kesas asquanons tatiste.
Yanele.
Waganya gane wagore gesax guanos dadista.
De.
Dadista.
Waga Niagani Warori Dizak Atwa Mastan.
Yanele.
Wagenyagane, Aquarori, Kezax Asquanonstatiste.
Wagenyagane aguarori gesax asquanonstatiste. Circle.
Okay.
I made a sound.
Okay, is that it? Is that everybody?
Yes, and it's 4-9.
Okay, well, what we have here is a complete dialogue. It is basically what we heard when the non-native people were escaping the European society that came here. So anyways, now this is the point where Wayagirdo is going to speak all the words. So while he's speaking it, to the best of your ability, I try to say it, but try to be cognizant of what the words are, the English part, read the English part, be cognizant of the meanings of what the circumstances were that existed at the time and still indeed do exist today still. Anyways, so everybody put your microphones on silent.
So I mute your stuff too. Oh, I cannot. I have to say to Wayagirdo.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Te wagenu chinue ungwehuene. Aye tari yoahios skana. I come to the original people to find the path of peace. Agohunzage de waderio. In my homelands they are at war. Keogon ayate yona de sanaya tonagwadi. My children have no future over there. Aderiosera de gahwajirahita. Violence tears families apart. Runungwe wahumdade satstosero. Adunhet stoganis gahionsera. Gunungwe tanu exa ogunga. The males have given themselves the power of life and death over women and children. Gunungwe guanat godania au nadun hetsera, geo hunzage. The women are being oppressed of their livelihood with the land. Yugewana noskwa, they have taken or stolen my voice. Gunungwe ganhatsera yudung, the women are like slaves. Okay. Waguana jatatsa te gunungwe neji kuderiwata jata asuta audirakwa. They burn women for doing their moon ceremonies. Jinikayo rodisatstoserayo rodinoa. Those who have power are liars. Rodirana het constano raodinunya. They have corrupted songs and dances. Yukiri onuduni aguario. They are forcing us to kill you. Waket nyaga ne aguarori. I have escaped to alert you. Gezax asquayada diste. I am seeking shelter.
didn't say the, you didn't say the word that's written.
Yeah,
Asquayad, Asquanusta diste. I am seeking shelter.
okay, yeah. Okay, so as you're gonna see as we go along, that everything that is coming up in the Kanienkeha class here is a dialogue. You're gonna see it if you put one class together to the next. It is a continuous dialogue, a conversation between the two bodies, the two opposites of that which comes from across the great waters and which is here. And the things that we would discuss, obviously, is not nonsense about did you watch last night's hockey game or stuff like that. The stuff that we would talk about is the state of our existence, how we are living, our freedom, our ability to exercise our freedom. So what we would talk about is the state of our nations. We would talk of the highest issues, the highest things concerning the people. And this would be done by the people, not by one person or two people that are elected out of millions and appointed out of millions to speak on behalf of them. No, this is the dialogue of all the people, what every person is responsible for. So you are responsible for protecting your own humanity. You're responsible for not doing things that are subhuman. You're responsible for evolving your humanity. Not anybody else, nowhere is responsible for the corruptions that you are experiencing, unless it is a direct oppression, like what the people here are experiencing. But even still here, it is up to us to be realistic and either work around the things that are barriers for us or work with the things that can be conducive to our escaping this corrupted existence. And so together we will continue to have a conversation that is going to, you're going to be surprised. This conversation is going to reveal things to us that we don't know, things that we are sort of like a missing link to understanding, the past, what has happened, what went on, where did things go haywire. Okay, so with that being said, who is with us that has not done the closing before?
Celine.
Yeah.
Celine didn't do the closing before?
No,
She
actually,
wasn't there.
yeah.
Okay, Celine, are you ready? Your turn at bat.
I'd like to thank, well, first my name is Celine. I'm the daughter of Florette, the granddaughter of Cécile, the great-granddaughter of Rosanna, and the great-great-granddaughter of Olivia. I'm also the mother of Roxanne, and I'm of the Hurons Nation and presently a temporary member of the Wolf Clan in the Women's Nation. I would like to thank the Sky Woman for giving us all the spirit that we carry in our soul, and we'd like to thank the Grandmother Moon for all the body and not the body, but the blood and the waters that we carry. We'd like to thank the Mother Earth for all the body that she gives us. And we'd like to thank the youngest baby girl to the oldest woman for all the guidance that she gives to our nations. We would like to thank all the medicine that we carry, from the smile to all of the pets and all of the animals that we could observe and learn from them. I'd like to thank also the protectors that helps the woman to accomplish what they've come to council to share for the best of our communities. We'd like to thank the crawlers, the swimmers, the Wiggins that are part of our life. And if ever I forgot anything, just place it in your heart. And thank you for that nice class for tonight. It was a nice inspiration of reading and sharing all of what our ancestors have said in the past for saving our humanity. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, everybody. Those of you who are interested, tomorrow we're having reconstitution. That's at 1 o'clock our time, Eastern Standard Time. And then, as you know, every Wednesday, even though I'm kicked off of Facebook for 30 days, so there's a lot of things that you can't see there. So if you can, share it yourself. Try to share it to wherever. But for 30 days, we're gonna have sort of like a media block on us. So see you tomorrow. Danzija.
Anna.
Los Dios, everyone. Love you. Take care.
To some